Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Nice to meet you. My name is Jinuk Jung. I'm from South Korea, and I want to introduce about our AI software for the electrical heat tracing in this time. Before the presentation, I want to ask you, how many of you are aware of the electrical heat tracing system? Can you raise your hand if you are aware? I saw 2 people, not that many from this crowd. Then I want to ask you one more question. Who are related to oil and gas industry? Here, would you raise your hand? I think almost everyone. Actually, although you may have not been realizing, electrical heat tracing system is used overall in oil and gas industry while it's invisible. So in this time, I want to tell you how you can save your time and costs in management of the plant if you are working related to oil and gas industry. So to briefly introduce about the electrical heat tracing system, it uses electricity and it generates heat by the heating cable. And it is usually installed on the pipe. So it maintains some specific temperature of the pipe fluid so that it will not be solid or solidified. It can remain as liquid and flow well. So this is how it looks like usually, and it is used in all kinds of the different plants. Then, what is some problem which we have seen and faced and experienced? So there is the pipe. Pipe engineering is done by the mechanical team, and then these piping drawings come to the electrical team, and the electrical engineers do this electrical heat tracing engineering. But here, this engineering depends a lot on the experience of the engineer. Which heating cable will be used in this pipe? Where will the power connection kit be installed? Where will it end? How it will route? Actually, it is dependent on the engineer, and according to who designed it, there is many cases that there is an over design, or there is a case that the design is not well done so that it can affect the safety. And moreover, because there are thousands of mechanical drawings where the pipe information is mentioned, so what is done is the heating cable, how it will be installed, where will the power kits be installed, they have to be all mentioned in the isometric drawing. Because there are thousands, it takes a lot of time. This is one project I did recently in Indonesia. This is one project, their drawing size is 20 gigabytes. Then think about engineer who has to draw all the lines and the kits on the drawing. How will it be stressful for the engineer? So it is time consuming, it is repetitive work, and it often leads to the project delay. Then how did we use the AI to make this problem to be solved? We developed a software called SMARTRACE. And this is a software which easily receive as an input as a mechanical ISO drawing. The pipe drawings we put inside the software, and there is a line list where these lines are mentioned. And then something that had to be taken some months, in few minutes, it will create the heat trace isometric drawing, which exactly tell you where is the optimal place to install the power kit, heating cable, and kit. So in works that could be done in several months with many human mistakes, now can be done in some minutes with much more optimal design with less construction cost and less operation cost and less energy consumption. Then, how it is possible? Let me briefly tell you about the workflow. So there is the CAD drawing, which the engineers really don't like to see, but has to see. There are thousands of drawings, sometimes in DWG format, in PDF format, and there is a line list. And then when we put this into the software, it firstly processes and only extract the lines from these drawings. And then there is a concept called LLM, which is related to AI. It means large language module. So you can think of an eye. So the software see the drawing and find what are the important information written in the drawing. Unnecessary information it deletes, and the needed information it gets it. And there is a concept called RAG. There are the rules which we gave education to the software, and then plus these drawings that the software received, it studies and then understand, this drawing is made in this way. And with these rules, this RAG you can think is like a brain. And then reasoning LLM, this is like you can think of as a hand. So with the rules that it learned from the mechanical drawing, and with the rules which it already has regarding the heat trace drawing, it draws the heating cable on the isometric drawing in the optimized way. So before, many times the drawings are connected to each other, and it's hard to see in one time by the human eyes, but it tells how it should be drawn, and plus where the accessories, heating, power connection kit, and the kit, these locations it suggests and draw on the drawing. And later on, it checks, is it drawn properly? Isn't there some mistake? There is the verification by this LLM. And when it's done, there are the simple formats on the edge of the drawing. It put this information and put the dimensions, and then draw the heat trace isometric drawing. So actually, this is some work for the electrical heat trace engineer had to do in some months. It's good to get the job, but also it's stressful. When should I draw these thousands of drawings? But what had to be done in months, now it can be done in some minutes. Isn't this some revolution for the heat trace engineers? Not only for the heat trace engineers, but for these end users, the operation cost, the manpower cost reduced a lot. And also it's much more precise than how human estimated has been done by the experience of people. Everyone says our design is best, but this is something that computer with the AI technology made the optimized design to minimize the construction cost and energy consumption and operation costs. Let me show how intuitive and simple it is to use this software. There is a software, drag and drop. Anybody can do this, right? So we just drag and drop. So there are the thousands of mechanical drawings which contractors usually send to the EHT companies like us, and then it processes. And then there are the drawings, and then the unnecessary information it deletes and only get the necessary information from the drawing, and then it with the rules it has in this software and the additional trainings which it received from the new drawings, it draws the heat trace drawing on the pipe, and then this heat trace drawing is given to the engineer in some minutes. Surely, just like we use ChatGPT, we do not 100% rely on it, but we check it, and actually it's pretty good. When you use the English to like some translation, it's doing pretty good, isn't it? But we also need to check. So when this AI software did the drawing of heat trace drawing, surely the engineer needs to check, but it reduced the time to draw it and this repetitive work, which I personally did not want to do, and many engineers surely would not like to do. This step is gone away. So it will ultimately make the end user to lower the cost and then make the project to be done much, much faster. Okay, so this is the concept about our AI software. If you want to know more, let me briefly introduce about our company. So we are based in South Korea, as you can assume. From 1989, we have been working for this electrical heat tracing system for 36 years. Now, our company is based in Seoul, South Korea, and we are reaching to other countries by making the partners, and we focus on giving the technical support so that our partners can support the projects of the end users in each areas so that they can do the job well. So this is what we do. So for there to be no issue in the project work, we got all the certificates, all the explosion proof certificates from all the scope of the product we have got, and we are doing the technical support for our agents. So if you want to know more, our booth just there in pod 22, so you can visit anytime. And thank you very much. I'm glad that I could speak in front of you, and thank you very much. Okay, small time. If you have any question, you can give. If not, okay, yes.
Sorry, I just missed the part of how can it decide what to remove from the design, what's not relevant.
So,
What kind of rules?
there are several information on the drawing, and there are some information. For example, on the end part, there is a X, Y, Z coordinate. This is something that is needed so that we can know this drawing is connected to which drawing. So these informations are needed, and it's on the edge part. So this software know that this is the needed part. But there are many dimensions which are not currently needed in AI process, like which millimeter this pipe length is, this pipe length is. In this AI process part, these information are deleted. So this AI decides which ones should be remaining for its LLM process and which ones are not needed for the LLM process, and only use the required information. But later on, when it complete the LLM process, regarding this dimension information, it brings again, so that in the heat trace drawing, it will be mentioned again. Sorry.
We can recover it.
Yes, it is not deleted. It is like Control X, and then it will be Control V. Okay, thank you.